So one of the best things about living here is we can see the water and we can see how windy it is, so we can see how choppy that water is going to be, if we can go out and kayak or not. And today is a nice kayaking day, even though it's a bit overcast. We're going to go kayaking. You don't really get water that's much smoother than this right now. This is like glass. This is pretty exciting. Well, hey everyone, thanks for coming out on the water with me. And this is a video I'm not really sure what I'm gonna say or how to say it. So yeah, we'll just talk and see what comes out and go from there. So I guess one of the questions that we often get, Naomi and I, is how do we travel and how are we full-time missionaries? How do we do it financially? How, do we have supporters, or do we work wherever we go, or how does this actually work, and how are we able to live the life that we live? Obviously, we live in this like fantastic house in New Zealand, in Queenstown, one of the more expensive places. How is this working? And I'm gonna kind of dive in to our background and kind of explain step by step what we've done and how we prepared to do what we're doing right now. And talking about this, I guess one of the things that is tough for me, it's a little bit vulnerable, just talking about money stuff in general, but then, yeah, just kind of getting in depth of exactly what we're doing. And our heart, anytime anybody does ask us this, we want to like share, and we want people to do what we're doing, just because we've really seen freedom out of this, and we've really seen freedom to a level where like we're actually able to follow God, to do whatever He tells us to do. And it's given us a level of freedom in that aspect, but it's still a little bit vulnerable talking about finances and our business and kind of the stuff that normal people don't always talk about. So a little bit of background, I graduated from Fordham University in New York City, and I was a college athlete there. I was a football player, and my senior year I was the team captain, unanimously voted, and I absolutely loved playing football there. I loved going to school there. My degree was in business administration with a double concentration in marketing and management, and then a minor in communications. So I have a little bit of educational background experience with business in that realm. And growing up, I always knew I wanted to be in a mixture of full-time ministry and full-time business. And so as I was going my educational route, I knew there had to be some kind of mixture put into place in that regard. And then Naomi graduated from La Trobe University in Bendigo, Australia, with her degree as a registered nurse. And so Naomi's story is kind of simple. I wish she was here right now to tell you, but yeah, I'm just on the kayak alone right now. But yeah, Naomi, she's just amazing. Basically, nursing is just like an incredible field. Almost anywhere she goes, as long as she's licensed, she can almost get a job just about anywhere. With that said, it's kind of silly, just because where we're at right now in Queenstown, they have like a surplus of nurses. It's one of the only places like in the world, it seems like, with too many nurses. So yeah, she actually hasn't been able to get a proper nursing job that she would actually be qualified for, and not underqualified for, not overqualified for, but yeah, a right fit for her. But that's okay, just because, yeah, Nikita, she definitely has her hands full. So Naomi is doing a harder job right now of being a full-time mom. So Naomi and I met, 8 years ago or so. What year was it? 2013, 2012, in that realm. in the country of Mozambique, Africa. We were both doing Bible school and missions training school and serving with Iris Ministries. If any of you have heard of Heidi and Roland Baker, it's their ministry, and we went there to learn and serve with them, and it was just an incredible experience. And it just so happened that we met each other there, and yeah, we just hit it off from the start. I knew I was going to marry her within the first week that I knew her, and things went pretty quickly from there. So once we got married, we were praying about it, and we felt like God was calling us to go to the country of Madagascar, and we wanted to go right away just because all of our friends that are missionaries, they're all doing just incredible things, and you know, we just wanted to see God use us in a way that we were seeing God use other people. But in reality, God, you know, He's made us all totally unique, and He's made us in His image, so we all have similar traits, but so unique in the fact that, yeah, He's gonna express Himself differently throughout each of one of us in a different way. So just know that our story is different than your story, and you're doing things that are so unique that we can't do, and we're doing a couple things that maybe other people can't do. But if there's anything we can impart to you guys, yeah, I hope you learn. And if nothing else, just yeah, thanks for watching along. So we knew we were going to Madagascar, and we were praying about it, and we felt like God was telling us two things. Number one, be equally yoked with the same citizenship. And in our minds, we're like, what the heck does that even mean? Like, that's just kind of silly. And we have so many international friends. My sister, she's married to a guy from South Africa, Martin. He's incredible, but they don't have the same citizenship. And yeah, Naomi and I were just kind of questioning that, thinking, what would be the point of that? Well, the month before the borders closed with all the chaos that happened in 2020, Naomi actually got our citizenship. And it was really amazing that we had the same citizenship. We were equally yoked with the same citizenship at that point. So if there ever is a big global shutdown for whatever reason in the future, we always have the same citizenship. We can always be together. And that took about 6 years. So that was, you know, a long time of kind of questioning and just kind of blind faith believing that, yeah, there is a purpose to this. But it was really cool actually getting a little confirmation of why we were doing this right before we actually were set to leave. So the second thing that we were praying about that we really felt God tell us was that we should be self-funded missionaries, at least for our living expenses and our housing and food and things like that. You know, if you guys have watched one of our previous videos about our 501c nonprofit being approved, you'll hear that we're really excited about that, but not technically asking for donations right now. If people want to donate, hey, I mean, our website's open, and yeah, people can look at that. But we really believe that when we're in Madagascar, there's going to be a lot of programs that we're going to need finances for. Food programs, housing programs, hospital programs, medical expenses. We're not really sure exactly what it's going to be, but we know there's going to be need there that God's going to be using us, and in turn, using people actually donating into those causes to expanding His kingdom. So we're really excited about that. But in the meantime, when we were in America, we were trying to figure out, okay, how do we be self-funded missionaries in the future when we are eventually going to get our citizenship and leaving America? So we started a whole bunch of businesses. One of the businesses, it was actually a side business that we started, was a website subscription business. Now, again, with my marketing background and business background, I knew how to build websites, and I knew somewhat about business, working in the business fields, but I didn't really know how to put them all together and how this works in a way that we can live overseas, still run a business, and still have time to actually do ministry. So when I first started the website business, it was all about getting one-off clients and redesigning their websites and then handing it off to them, and that's that. And that worked to some degree, but after doing it for a while, I didn't see how it was going to work for the long-term goals of us for being overseas, because it's a lot harder to do sales when you are overseas. And then also, every time we didn't have clients, we didn't have any income other than when Naomi was working as her nursing jobs. And so, you know, for us being overseas, if Naomi wasn't able to get a job, such as right now in New Zealand, we didn't really see how that was going to be working. And then there was a couple other negatives about that business as well. Once we did build a website and it was great, we would hand it off to the clients, and then, you know, a plugin wouldn't be updated or something would break on the website, and then, you know, 6 months down the line, they would contact us and say, hey, you know, what's going on with this website? And there was no maintenance costs to keep that website updated, and there was no ongoing cost to make sure the website's being ranked, and there was a lot of negatives to that business model that we saw that there is a business model that this will work. Another really big negative of building one-off websites is it's a lot of work, and every industry is completely different. So there would be one industry, let's just say we would build a dental website, and all the content would be for dentists, and then we would build a website for a mortgage company. They would be completely different websites. And so it was a lot of work actually building these websites and getting all the content from the customers, and we didn't know the industries, and so it was really tough actually just getting the proper content, much less the design and the SEO and the hosting and everything else that goes with websites. So we got the inspiration from a friend to focus on one niche industry. We focused on the mortgage industry because it was an industry that I had worked in, that I was familiar with. And the idea is that every single website was content that we knew how to work with, because we know all the lingo, all the compliance, we know everything that has to do with the mortgage industry. And then for SEO purposes, we know what a mortgage industry website needs in order to get ranked. For blog posts, we know exactly what kind of content a mortgage website should get for blog posts. And then to capture leads and for the website to actually work to the point where it's actually generating business, we knew what needed to be done for that specific industry in order for that to work. So we set up a side business. It was called Loan Sites, and the point of it was it's mortgage-specific website subscription business where we do everything for you. We build the website, we host it, we manage it. If there's anything additional that you want changed going forward, it's a monthly payment to us. And so, yeah, any support requests or any updates or anything like that, our clients just email us and we get that done and taken care of. So it's good for the customer because, number one, they don't have to worry about managing a website. They can focus on their industry and actually closing mortgage loans. And then it's good for us because it's small monthly payments, but once we got a large enough amount of clients that it was enough for us to live somewhat of a comfortable life, we definitely still have to budget and we still have to watch what we spend. But after enough time working in an industry and getting enough clients, it's given us the freedom that we don't really have to worry about sales anymore and getting new clients. We love getting new clients, and it always hurts to lose some clients when it happens, but we've built up enough clients where we're able to live wherever we want, and it's web-based, so we can work wherever there's internet, and it seems to work out really, really nice. And then the other benefit for us, for it being web-based, it gives us the freedom of time. Because things are online-based, our clients will email us with any support requests they have, and then the majority of those support requests, they don't need to be done right then. Sometimes they do, and I always need to be available to go to my computer at any time to make sure those updates are done and make sure our customers are being taken care of. But a lot of times, it can be done later on that night after Nikita's gone to sleep, or later on the weekend. And so it's given us a lot of freedom of time where we can enjoy our days. And then there's certain times where I definitely have to work, and I have to work a lot, but it's not like I'm going to like a 9-to-5 job where those are the exact times that I'm going. It's been really, really amazing. I'm able to really formulate my own schedule, and it's shifted and adjusted depending on what's going on with our lives. If we're going on a trip, I can do a lot of work right before that trip and then a lot of work after, but I don't have to actually work during that trip. So yeah, it's been really, really just an amazing blessing that it's kind of fallen into our laps, and we've set up for the past 6 years to finally be at the point where it's at now. So what are the negatives for a business like this? Well, number one, I always do have to be available. So I just about always have my phone with me. If I'm out of cell phone range, I do get a little antsy just because I always want to be there for my clients if there is any urgent needs that they need. And then running your own business, there is just, there's certain stresses that come with that as well. Tax season especially, and different times of the year, there's maybe more of a push in terms of client updates and things like that. Every now and then there'll be a big industry compliance update where we have to update all of our client sites, and it's a whole lot of work. So there's definitely things that need to be done. But from the broad scale, it's given us freedom where we can live where we want to live, and for the most part, have the time to do what we really feel called to do. Well, I hope that properly explains, what we do, how we're doing it, and it wasn't an overnight thing. It was 6 years of really starting it and building up a client base to the point where we're at right now. And again, we don't crush it. It's not like we have that much excess money that we're able to spend. We definitely have to budget, and there's definitely some financial scares that we have from time to time. But yeah, we're so grateful for the life that we're living right now, where we have the freedom of time and the freedom of money to really do what God's calling us to do. And don't think that we're not enjoying ourselves as well. We obviously love living in New Zealand. So if you're looking to start your own business, maybe a business in a similar facet of business that I've done, a website subscription business, there's a couple practical tips and skills that I think you should definitely learn. Number one, you need to know how to build websites, and there's a lot of amazing resources online that you can research to learn. You don't have to go to university to learn that, even though I do think university is definitely I'm so grateful I went to university. I'm so grateful for my degree. I'm not saying you need that to do this industry. So once you know how to build a website, you need to know all the back-end cPanel and hosting information as well. Again, there's a lot of amazing information online that you can do to research this. You could also learn the hard way of, trial and error, which isn't as fun. But once you know how to build a website, build a bunch of free websites for all of your family and friends. Just build them free websites and make sure they know, hey, this is an industry I'm interested in. I think I want to become a web designer, but I need to practice on clients first. You don't want your first clients, or you don't want any of your clients to think that you're not professional, and you want to know what you're doing. You want to have the confidence that you're actually doing this to help people, as opposed to someone paying you and you actually doing a disservice and learning on the job. That's not what you want to do. So do as many free websites as you possibly can. I know there was definitely a season where there was just so many websites that I had built, and then I had other business ideas as well, so I'm always building websites for different business ideas that I have as well. And then once you're finally comfortable with how to build a website, how to manage a website, the SEO behind it and actually get the website ranked, and then how to actually turn the website from getting visitors to actually getting leads. Once you finally get that all down, it's time to actually start sales. And that's a whole nother aspect of the business as well. Just about any business, regardless of what it is, whether it's website design, whether it's, making kayaks, or any business that you do, one of the hardest things is actually getting the customers, regardless of how amazing your product will be. A good product helps get customers, but even an amazing product is still going to be tough to get customers. So sales is a huge crucial part as well. So just know that going in, that you're going to need to spend a lot of time to do sales and actually get customers and clients. And then in my case, once I worked on a bunch of clients and realized I don't really like this one-off client thing, I would prefer the client to actually hire me to manage their website and make sure that their system is running flawlessly and working all the time and working to the point where it should be working. Maybe it's time to actually do monthly plans and a subscription service similar to what we've done. And that's kind of the process that we went throughout it. It was a long process. I'm not quite sure I ever really thought I would be to the point where I'm at right now. And I'm sure in the future there's going to be another point where I'm going to think, man, that time in the kayak, I can't believe I was at that point where now I'm at this point. I hope that's the case, and I hope it evolves from there. Well, hopefully this helped you learn a little bit. If nothing else, helped you dive into a little bit of our background and learn what we're doing and how we're able to do what we're doing. And if you have any business ideas, leave them in the comments below. Or if you are thinking of starting a business, hey, just let me know in the comments below. I'd love to pray for you. And if there's anything else that you need prayer for, leave them in the comments below. I'd absolutely love to pray for you. Honestly, I think the majority of my business success and just my life is attributed to God's favor in my life. So if you don't have a relationship with God, it's time to start with one. The God of the Bible has actually done everything he possibly can to have a relationship with you. And even though you feel like he's distant, he cares and he knows every little facet about you. He actually came down from heaven to earth in the form of Jesus. He demolished sin by dying on the cross and paid for every little possible sin, and he remembers them no more because sin was defeated on that cross. Didn't end there. He actually rose again and lives today. And it's the scriptures say that the Holy Spirit, God's Spirit, actually dwells inside Christians right now. So put your faith in Jesus today if you haven't done so. And if you're not quite sure, if you're not ready to actually make that step, you can still pray to God and just say, hey, God, I'd love a little direction in my life. Or, hey, God, I'd love for you to show me that you're real. And I hear these stories and I hear these testimonies of Christians, but I'd love to actually experience that myself. I really encourage you. You can just talk to God just like that and just say that. He's going to meet you exactly where you're at. So you don't have to be worried that he's going to chastise you or ashamed of anything you've done in the past. He loves you. He's the best loving father you could ever possibly imagine. And my life has been so radically changed and affected and guided and molded from the Father's love that I just really love for everyone else to experience that as well. So again, if you have any questions about any of that stuff, you can leave that in the comments below. Sorry, I went on a little tangent there, but guys, thank you so much for watching. Man, we are just over 700 subscribers now. We're almost at 1,000. At 1,000, we get monetized. I think we get 50 cents for a month or something like that. So after a few months, we might get a free coffee or so. I'm not sure exactly how much money we get. I know it's not a whole lot, but we really appreciate you all. And if you guys have any questions at all, like I've said, leave them in the comments below. Please like this video. It helps us a lot, and it shows that, okay, this is the kind of content that our subscribers will actually want to see. And guys, please keep us in your prayers. Our family, you know, there's always things that we're going through, and we could really use some prayer. And so we appreciate you all keeping us in your prayers. Hope you are having a very, very blessed day, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye. As I'm going back here, guys, I just want to be clear that if you are a missionary and you are living on support, or if you're a minister living on support, hey, there is no judgment on this end at all. I think that's incredible. The Bible's pretty clear that ministers should be paid. And there might very well be a point in our lives where, you know, we might be at that stage as well. You know, one of the big negatives of running a business is you really never know what's going to happen. And, you know, tomorrow things could change for our situation entirely. So we pray that doesn't happen. But yeah, I just don't want anybody to feel like I'm judging anybody or feeling like we're better than anybody or anything like that. That's not the case at all. In a lot of ways, I'm really envious of people that are on support. So yeah, I love you all. Thank you again for watching, and we'll talk soon. Living in New Zealand, there's not one boat on this lake. This is Lake Wakatipu off of Queenstown. It's like a pretty famous lake in New Zealand. Why is there no boats here? This is just like such a gorgeous day. But yeah, I'm grateful. This is amazing here.